Hi, this is Ralph Reyes, and today we're on part two of Meetings Should Be Awesome and Not Awful. Today we're going to focus on some of the main components of having awesome meetings and the discipline around that and some simple things that you can do to make your meetings that much better. And then, as promised from before, we're going to define the four types of meetings for you to be able to plan for. So first I want to talk about super basic item, and that's starting and ending on time. People need to know that the meeting is going to start at the specific time so they're not wandering in late, leaving early. That's just fair to everybody and it's just considerate to everybody else in the room. And it shows the importance of the meeting and the meeting topic and that time together when people are disciplined about getting there on time and staying until the end, and you as the leader are responsible for making sure that that happens. The second one, and this sounds super basic, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't have agendas. Having an agenda, having a roadmap, having a plan for what the meeting is helps people engage and get excited about what's coming up, that they're excited about those topics. It shouldn't be just a rote same agenda from the last 4 years that we talk about the same things. Should be an interesting and compelling reason to go to that meeting. So we want to have the purpose on there. What are we trying to achieve in this meeting? What are the outcomes that we are expecting or we're hoping to get to at the end of this meeting? Here's what I want to get accomplished in this meeting. Is there any pre-read information that people should have? Should they look at back notes from previous meetings? Should they have read an article? Should they be familiar with this part of the financial packet? Whatever that may be, that would help the people prepare to come to the meeting so the meeting could be that much more efficient. That's what really gives the meeting the weight and allows you to get to some sort of logical conclusion at the end of the meeting and not just go around in circles. So that brings us to the closing of the meeting. Great discipline for every meeting is making sure that you close the topic, you close the meeting, and there's complete clarity of what was decided. So we know what was decided, who's going to do what going forward, what research, what other items have to happen before the next meeting, and who's going to do them. That allows people to understand that the time that we just spent on these things wasn't wasted because we're going to be able to pick up where we left off on the next time. So that discipline of clarity, ending with clarity, is really, really important. It's become very popular to think about meetings, and I think for good reason, think about meetings as a hard cost to the company. And being able to calculate the cost of a meeting and making sure that your meetings are cost effective. It's a super easy calculation. Just take everybody's salary, break it into an hourly, and multiply it by the hours of the meeting. But really put a dollar value on that. And are we getting the most of our money for that meeting? So very important. Okay, so now let's talk about the four general types of meetings. And there's certainly more, but I think they all kind of fit into this. And this is all basic material from Pat Lencioni and his various teachings. So in the table group information. So four types of meetings. First one, offsite meetings and retreats. This is a really important time to be thinking about offsite meetings and being able to get your team together and talk about the big picture of what's going on with the company. How are we doing? What are the market forces that are changing, that are potentially threatening us to do things in a different way? What are the things that we need to do differently going into the next year, the next quarter, whatever that fiscal period is, in order to get different results than we're getting now? But unless you take the time to get off site and kind of pull away from the day-to-day business, it's really difficult to do that. So having this discipline of an off-site meeting or retreat, even if it's one day in the community, maybe you can't afford to have people travel all over the place, but really just having that discipline of pulling away from the business for a day or two, really, really important. A lot of people who are on fiscal calendars that match the regular calendar. Now's a great time to do that before we get into budgeting for the new year if you haven't already. Weekly, bi-weekly meetings. These are really the meat of your meetings, right? And this is a lot of what we talk about with the agenda, but really having that steady rhythm of consistency of knowing when those meetings are, and we can go into some specifics on that in a future video. Ad hoc special meeting is a meeting where it is on a particular topic, a particular problem that needs to be solved. It's a particular group of people that need to come together. They're maybe a little bit different than your usual group of department heads or managers within this area. But that would be your special meeting. And then the fourth one is the daily huddle. And if you're not doing a daily huddle, I would really, really suggest that you give it a try. And the daily huddle is 10, 15 minutes. Some people call it a stand-up, but it's just everybody coming together, managers coming together and just doing a real quick roundtable, 1 minute, 30 seconds each on what's the most important thing that they're going to be working on today. And do they have any interdependence with the people in this group here of what they need from them? And then people can tell you what they need from you. So, but a great way to make sure that everybody's on the same page for the day. What's the most important? Where are the hot spots in the business that we need to be focusing on? This could save a lot of emails. It could save some one-on-ones. It could save a lot of miscommunication by just pulling together just for a few minutes at the beginning of the day. A lot of companies do this like at a quarter to the hour and then end in 10 minutes. So then 5 to the hour, then people could still do a meeting like if you did it at 8:45 to 8:50, then people could still do a 9 o'clock meeting. So that's the way a lot of companies do this. And people have really had great success with this. We did it in my companies and it really helped with keeping everybody on the same page. So those are the 4 types of meetings. If we can help you with any of this information going forward, we'd love to. We've had a lot of success with helping companies improve their meetings and making an event that people would really want to get to, so it's the most productive time possible for you and your company. So thanks very much.